I think I remember the first mixtape or the first time I heard about you. It was like G Unit Crips. Was that like your first mixtape that you kind of came out under G Unit? I think it was you, and like I remember, I kind of vaguely
We
remember.
never had a tape called G Unit Crips. There was a mixtape called Bangadocious, which had a lot of the same songs as Rags to Riches, which Who Kid put out. And they came out one right after the other. It was like my version versus his version of the mixtape. And it was called Bangadocious, is the one I put out. And there was the expression G Unit Crip utilized quite a bit on the mixtape. Me utilizing that phrase, it had dual purposes. The primary purpose, my affiliation with such a traditional, notoriously known original street gang, and the politics and the potential politics that can arise from being a public figure, especially having back and forth with rappers and being running around kind of wild. I always felt it was wise to not be on the microphone hollering my actual gang affiliation excessively. And I used the G Unit Crip umbrella to make it to a point where I could still affiliate my affiliation with G Unit, not eliminate my affiliation with Crip, but not include my homies in what I was doing directly, because we going fuck Whack Wall, fuck Doja. So I could give you something to diss back, G Unit Crip. I don't want to tempt nobody to diss where I'm from, because now you got the homies involved, and that'll be me doing too much and over implicating myself with the homies and having people talk to me about it. So that was one of my main primary reasons for utilizing G Unit Crip as an umbrella versus pushing East Coast Crip in my music and in my presence in the industry. To me, that would be more corny than being a G Unit Crip. So also, individuals such as him and many others got G Unit tattoos. So the G Unit Crip was really a whole bunch of Crips that was pushing G Unit West with me, and it was just not an organization. It was not a gang. It wasn't a group. It was just a way to describe each of us as individuals, because we Crips and we fucking with G Unit. And then when we get together, guess what? We are them the G Unit Crips because of G Unit Crip, not because that's a gang, but just because he fucking with the G Unit movement and he a Crip. It was real simple, but it was a way to push G Unit and push Crip publicly without pushing actual gang banging. And I kind of took the blueprint from Dog Pound Gangsters. As corny as that is to think that that's something really moving out here in LA, nobody really looked at it corny within the realms of hip hop. It was understood. So that's what kind of like G Unit Crip was.
Was 50 ever worried about being associated with it?
Yes. It was at the time I recall he upon seeing him for the first time after some time, and his response or his comments was referring to law enforcement in New York in particular, I believe. He was like, yo, B, they believe you with that G Unit Crip shit, B. They believe you. Yeah.
I've seen him worry about, the RICO shit quite a bit, man. I even seen an interview where he was like, I say publicly I'm not gang, and all that. So, I was just kind of wondering.
But he say publicly he's not gang, but he's not, though. So publicly, privately, he's not either.
Right. But I believe under the RICO, it could be a little bit more vague.
Nah, the RICO is a lot about more what you do in private and behind the scenes that they aware of versus than what you're saying on microphones, even though that is beginning to be implicated. Most of the people that got on the microphone ain't never got a RICO, ain't never rapped in their life. So it's more about what you do than what you feel me, or what you said off of a song. Even though we see that being a current element, that's not what it's typically traditionally been about, what's being said in songs. That's a new element.
Right, back then it was a little different.
A lot different.
Now it's kind of like the standard, it seems like, that the
Yes.
feds and the police are using to go after rappers.
Yes, and it's not just because you're saying certain things, but it's apparently that they're being able to make connections to the things being said, to certain things being done, and that seems to be the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. Free everybody, except the rapists and the baby killers and the women, people that abuse women and all them. Free everybody else. Give them a restart over.